Hello. Sir, Manikandan, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, so you are able to hear us now, sir?
Yes, it is very clear. Mr.
Yeah,
Devesh
thank
and
you.
Josh also joined.
Yeah, Mr. Devesh. Hello, sir. Sir, very good evening.
Hey, hi, good evening. Hi, Mani.
Devesh, sir. So is our audio video everything clear to you, sir?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Sir,
yes, it is absolutely coming fine.
Great, Devesh.
yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
A very good evening to everyone. I warmly welcome all the participants joined today webinar, our customers, our staff, the public for this webinar. The purpose of the webinar is RBI is conducting a financial literacy week from 14th of February to 18th of February. So Indian Bank is also actively participating in this financial literacy week. And in this webinar, we are going to make a awareness among our customers how to do the digital transaction in a secure way and in a convenient manner, and also what is the protection, what customer is going to get benefited while doing this digital transaction. So first, to start the session, I would like to invite Mr. Bharti, General Manager Digital Banking, to deliver the welcome address to all the participants. Sir, please.
Good evening, everybody. Indian Bank, you know very well, it's always a customer-friendly and user-friendly bank. Many customer-centric initiatives are given by the bank. And of course, we are definitely on the digital platform also. We are offering new things to the customer all the time. And not only on this particular week, we always try to reach the customer and try to tell them that here is a platform which can help you to do the financial transaction in an easy way. But then we felt that this is another added advantage to reach you in this particular week because it is being initiated by none other than the Reserve Bank of India. We thought we can reach you with all the more importance. And of course, Indian Bank has got many products to do or to help you around to do the digital way of doing the business. And something I can quote it like we have a popular platform called mobile app Indoasis. We have a net banking platform, and probably you must be using our UPI also. And recently, Government of India has given one guideline saying that if you do 85% of your transactions through digital mode, say for example, you are making a payment through UPI, making a payment through mobile bank, Like that, if you do 85%, you will be recognized as a digital customer. We want Indian Bank to have 100% digital customers. And please feel free and safe to use our bank digital platform, because your bank digital platform is one of the most secured platform. We have a strong dedicated team to take care of all the transactions which are happening on the digital platform. And the team is with me, and there is the team headed by one of our senior most expert, Mr. Shibu. He is also with us. And not only that, this literacy week is going to be is being conducted and being taken care by another GM who is called Mr. Venkatesan. He is also with me. He will try to give his thoughts to you. And above all, we are having a good partnership with NPCI, who is helping us to roll out all our digital platforms in a far secure and better way. And people, experts from the NPCI is also on this board. They will be talking to you. They will be sharing their thoughts process to you, and they may also tell you how to do the business on the digital platform in a safer way. And of course, we are having a compliance GM also with us, who will also be sharing with these views to you. So this is a rich board is in front of you, or the highest topmost people of the bank are in front of you to tell you about the digital platform, the way to do it, how securely you can do it, how you can promote yourself to others, saying that this digital platform can be a best platform for you and for your nearby people. So with this, I welcome you all to have an interaction with the topmost brains available here. And thank you so much for joining with us on this evening to listen to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful introduction of this webinar. So now we are going to move into the next session. That is the major player of the industry is the UPI and IMPS. So we have invited the experts from NPCI, the product team. The product leaders are here, Mr. Davesh Upede and Mr. Josh Desai. They are waiting to meet you in the webinar. So, sir, it's over to you. You can address our participants.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity to connect with such a lovely audience today. It's truly our pleasure being here and talking to Indian Bank briefly about UPI, and I understand the focus message over here is trust and safety. So without wasting any time, I'll let my colleague Devesh run through very briefly on UPI, the benefits, and what we've seen so far, and maybe we'll spend a bit more time on trust and safety. That's a topic which is very close to what we do over here and in all our products. So over to you, Devesh.
So Mani, can we have this presentation which I have shared with you?
Briefly on UPI, the benefits.
Yeah, so we can go to the next slide. So these are the different ways in which we can now make the UPI payment. So UPI offers two ways of payment, which is pull and push. So we can make either payments through the QR. We can make the payment by sending to on a UPI ID, and we can also send the collect request also to the users and make and receive the payment at the same time. So for the making payments, UPI offers the virtual payment address, that is UPI ID. UPI apps to customers for the any bank, so we can integrate within a single application different bank accounts, and then payment across different UPI ecosystem can be done on UPI ID within a single app. So one app for all transaction needed. UPI offers a single click double factor authentication. So user will have to enter only the UPI pin once time, and we also verify the details of the user at the SIM device binding level. So user only enters the UPI pin, but at our end it's a double authentication while making the payment. So it's a very safe and secure. And one of the most prominent ways in which UPI payments are made, that is a QR based payment. So if you go to any merchant, you will get to see that so many QR codes are there. You just scan the code code, enter the UPI pin, and you are able to make the digital payment. And similarly, there is a way for the intent payment also. So you can see that within intent app, so various, if you go for Amazon site and you purchase something, and then when you initiate the payment, you get a link for making the payment. So these are the different ways in which UPI payments can be done today.
So what I think we're trying to briefly highlight here is, apart from the conventional mediums, UPI has opened up the payment experience in different ways. It caters to, all sort of online. When I mean by online, that means on your e-commerce, all those segments getting catered. But at the same time, those last mile kirana walas, small time vendors who could not afford an MPOS or something like that can now simply put a QR and start accepting payments. Interoperability, which is one of the biggest part for the growth of UPI, which means one app can cater to any bank's customer in a very secured manner using 2FA. That has been one of the key pillars of growth for UPI. So yeah, can go to the next slide now.
So these are the some salient features of the UPI.
Yeah, I think we just took, went through this, all the functionalities, what we can do. Money, we can go to the next slide. Yeah, so, when UPI started, it was just basic, simple scan, pay, receive from person to person. Slowly, we saw a lot of merchants coming on to UPI. Today, literally, UPI actually now has become sort of like a hygiene factor for businesses alive today. If you don't have UPI, you can expect almost 50% of the people not coming in and paying paying to you. So whether you're an individual, you're a small, a sole proprietor, UPI definitely is a way to go with its, safe, secure experience. With over 250 million users, you will get very good acceptance everywhere. And it also, we found ways to integrate. So if you're an existing merchant who has a POS, we found ways to integrate the QR within the POS so that the merchant does not have to make any more changes. And apart from that, everything pertaining to bill payments, subscriptions, and we've also extended beyond payments to saying, can you apply for IPOs using UPI? Can you apply for recurring transactions where your subscriptions are active? All those things are now being made possible on the UPI platform, and our strive is to grow more to serve the citizens of India with this public good over here.
And adding to the point over here, for that, just like the merchant do not have to pay any MDR also for the UPI payment. So earlier, if you see, we see for the period before 2015, when the cards were dominating in the market and the industry, merchants were paying a lot of money, hefty amount for MDR. But since it's a government initiative and government wanted to UPI to reach to the every corner of the country, for the merchant payments also there is no MDR. And if we see for the P2P and P2M transactions, UPI is dominating more than 80% in the market today. Mani, we can go to the next slide.
Yes. And I'm very happy that, today's session started off with a lot on trust, safety, user awareness. And that is somewhere, what we've also tried to build in every inch and pillar of the product, right? From the part where you're onboarding the app to making payments. There are a lot of markers which make you aware of who you're making a payment to, entering the PIN, showing the verified status of a merchant, and etc. But still, what we see is that there are some fraudsters who, or some entities, sorry, let me not use that word, some entities who take, some advantage of users. Maybe they're not knowing of digital platforms, or people who are coming outside the UPI platform and are made to onboard. All these scenarios, we've tried to, summarize in very basic, simple safety tips. So the first safety tip which we always advise is, whenever you enter a UPI ID, click on verify. The moment you click on verify, while the UPI ID, the name could be anything, it shows who does the bank account belong to. That's the very first part to it. The second one is uh,
Check the receiver's name.
you should check the receiver's name when you're entering over there, because the name, as I mentioned, on the UPI ID and the receiver's name is more important. The third most important, and I think the most fundamental safety tip which we should all prophesize, is entering your UPI pin equals to a debit in your account. No matter what the payment mode is, be it cards, be it UPI or anything, there is never a scenario where you will scan a QR or accept a collect request and enter your pin to receive money. This comes on to our fourth tip, which is
Scan QR.
scanning a QR and entering your UPI pin. You will never ever receive money, because this is how people are made to believe that you will get something if you scan this QR. You'll get a cashback or something of that sort. And most important is the emphasis on the UPI pin. Lastly, what we've seen is majority of these victims actually became victims because they wanted to search for some help or something related to that on to the banking help on various Google search, and sometimes they would stumble across a fake website, and therefore they were convinced that this is the bank who I am talking to, and bank has instructed me to do so, and therefore these events would happen. So we have introduced whole new section of UPI help, which allows the user to raise disputes and grievances from the app itself, providing a better, greater user experience out there. So Devesh.
Yeah, so our submission is that UPI is as safe as it is easy. So the key point for the UPI payment is that it is very easy and it is instant. So if you want to make a transfer to any bank account, you just enter one PIN and the transfer is made. Similarly, it is as much safe as it is easy. The only need is that these 5 safety points, user while making any UPI payments, user need to keep in mind these 5 safety points, and there will never be any chance of the fraud for them. So at our end, at the NPCI end, at the network level, we are taking at most attention for the security of the users. But these 5 pins, if users keep in their mind, there'll be almost zero chance of any fraud for that user.
Absolutely there. So I think that is it from the brief presentation side, and we are happy to take some questions from our lovely audience here.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Davesh and Mr. Josh, for the brilliant speech, and it is the need of the hour to know about this UPI and IMPS. We have a Q&A in the last session. Definitely we'll connect you with our audience. So we will go on to the next session. That is like now, since the Financial Literacy Week is being conducted, so what is that Financial Literacy Week? What is the awareness to be created among our customers, to the public, is going to be delivered by our CCO, Chief Compliance Officer of Indian Bank, Mr. Suresh Kumar. Sir will be giving a insight about that. Sir, please.
Thank you, Shanti. Thank you, Bharati sir, for this opportunity. And Shanti, who are all the audience here? Branches are connected?
Yeah, the audience are our branches, staff members, and our customers, and even public who are non-customers also connected through our YouTube channel and social media. Sir, it's a public forum. Everybody is connected.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Thank you very much. Friends, as I endorse Bharati sir's view that Indian Bank is a very bank to bank with happily, securely. And this week, this February 14th to 18th is celebrated as a Financial Literacy Week by Reserve Bank of India, with the theme Go Digital and Go Secure. So we should remember these two words, Go Digital and Go Secure. Both are important, particularly in the point of view of the branches as well as the customers. What is going digital? You know that digital transaction is faceless, paperless, and cashless. It is done through cards, whether it is a debit card, credit card, PPIs, that is prepaid cards, or through USSD without internet in feature phones, and AEPS mostly through micro ATMs, mostly through by BCs. Then UPI, IMPS, point of sale transactions, internet banking, and mobile banking. These are all the wide ranging avenues available today for the faceless, paperless, and cashless digital transactions. Yes, we know that the convenience has increased 100%. The example is our today's 90s kids who never would like to visit a bank, who would like to do all the transactions sitting in one place, whether it is their workplace or at home. While this has increased the convenience for the banking public and convenience to bankers also, because the footfalls in the branch has come down, as well as the cash and cash related operations have come down. The risks of going digital if you are careless has increased multifold. So, very, very appropriately, Reserve Bank of India has chosen this year's Financial Literacy Week between February 14 to 18 as Go Digital and Go Secure. One is that Go Digital is that we should increase the awareness of digital channels among the banking public and customers. Go Secure, here we have to tell them how to utilize the digital payment channels very, very carefully and in a very, very safe manner. Certain basic tips are avoid saving the card details as well as your passwords in your mobile phone or laptop or iPad, whatever instrument you are using. This is the first thing is suggested. Then the second one is be very careful about the various fraudulent apps that are available that will tempt you to download, that will tempt you to explore them. One has to be particularly a digital payment user or digital transaction user has to be very, very careful about these fraudulent apps. Then, third important tip is that one has to avoid public PC or public Wi-Fi network for doing these digital transactions. And another important thing, never ever share the password. One is that I said don't save the password. The other one is that don't share the password. Not only password, OTP also, do not share the OTPs also to the fraudsters. Friends, while we are happy to note that the digital transactions have increased multifold, we are also noted that the complaints on account of careless digital transaction resulting in losing money or discomfort is also increasing manifold. To avoid this, I request all the participants, particularly the bankers who are present here, our motto shall be, while encouraging the customers to go digital, use all the digital channels for transaction for their convenience, we have to also tell them to be very careful, very cautious, so that Government of India's Digital India idea of faceless, paperless, and cashless objective can be reached, and load in the branches can come down, convenience to the customers can be increased. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the interesting speech. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Manikandan from NPCI, Senior Relationship Manager, who is going to deliberate about NPCI RuPay cards, debit cards. And we are going to see an interesting video also in the last, how the technology is being far behind now. Mr. Manikandan, yes, your session is over to you now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. It is a one-stop video conference where we can reach to the end customers as well as the banking customers. I'm very happy to, and I'm very thankful to Indian Bank for arranging this initiative, and really RBI is also behind this support to conduct the financial inclusion activity and awareness activity. Yes, Nishani, we can have this RuPay slide, please. Yes, next slide. Next slide, please. So RuPay, so out of around 900 million cards in the market, we have around close to 700 millions are RuPay cards. So happy to say that RuPay cards are there across India. Even we started our issuance in for international certification also across countries. Now RuPay can be accepted through JCB and other partners. So we have close to 1,200 banks, 1,155 plus banks issuing, including public sector banks, private banks, RRBs, regional rural banks, cooperative banks, district cooperative banks, and urban cooperative banks. And it is a effective and less cost, or I can say the economy one card scheme when compared to the other schemes. And it is having so much of benefits like airport lounge access, cashback programs, Amazon cashback, Swiggy, and other transactions. Other merchant offers also. And these offers are dynamic. This is not only for applicable for credit cards. So we have RuPay Credit, RuPay Debit, and RuPay Prepaid. So the variants are RuPay Classic, which is a basic variant, and the next level medium variant is Platinum, and the third one is RuPay Select, which is a super premium. So banks can take action accordingly to the consumer. So if you have a low profile customer according to the setup, so you can offer the whatever the category that you want. If you want to all in the customer like HNI customer, high net worth individual, so you can offer them Select. So we can do a customer profiling also accordingly. So NPCI as a digital ecosystem, we are also supporting banks to give this segmentation also. So these are all the slide that you're seeing. So we have around close to 120 million POS and e-com transaction. This is as of December data which we are showing, and ATM transaction which is managed by our National Financial Switch NFS. So we have around 232 million transaction which is happening, and 90 million transaction are happening on cooperative and RRBs also. So that means across we are reaching out to all the type of customers, end users, rural banks and other banks also. Through micro ATMs also, these RuPay cards are getting accepted, and we have good presence across India and in abroad also. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the new initiative that NPCI has introduced is RuPay on the go. Of course, the traditional method is carrying a wallet, and in that you will have multiple cards, bank cards actually. So now as per RBI guidelines, 1 or 2 years back, we have introduced contactless payments. So this RuPay contactless payments is nothing but evaluated to next level actually. So why we have to, yes, of course, you can carry the card in your wallet. Of course, if you forget the wallet in your home, how you can make the payment? So that's where RuPay on the go has come to simplify your needs. So now during the pandemic situation, multiple times, 10x, 20x times, the digital payments has been increased. Earlier, the contactless payment limit was 2,000 rupees without PIN. For example, if you are visiting to a shop where during the pandemic time, there is a huge rush standing there. So they didn't want to give the card physically, they don't want any touch. So that time, the digital payments, contactless payment is very important. So what we can do is, So that's where RBI has introduced up to 2,000 rupees without PIN in POS contactless enabled terminal. We can make the payment, and based on the last 2 years usage, it has been, as per RBI guidelines, it has been increased to 5,000 rupees. So if you are visiting your restaurant, you can make the payment. So by sitting on your table itself after your food is over, so you can ask the merchant to bring the machine. So if the machine is enabled, so now most of the machines are in the market are enabled with the contactless, and now Android machines also available, which our Indian Bank is also adopting to that. So simply you can make the payment through the contactless cards. Now one more thing is like, so you can see this keychain. This is a contactless payment keychain, which is nothing but RuPay on the go. The watch that I'm carrying is a RuPay on the go payment watch actually. So it is highly safe, as safe as your debit card, credit card, or prepaid card, and seamless transaction. No worries of any my data getting shared, etc. The control will be with you. It is as safe as how you are carrying your card, and it has all the features like if you want to disable your transaction in your keychain or any accessory, you can go to your bank app or internet banking app and you can disable. If you want to limit the transaction, for example, in my keychain or in my watch, I want to make only the payments on POS for 1,000 rupees, less than 1,000 rupees, you can come. You can customize that limit also. So it is very much possible through our banking system. So it is very easy, it is very convenient, and it is highly safe, and it is highly interoperability also. So it's a dual face card, so where you can use. So now these are all the features which are available now. Not only the youth segment, even the middle-aged person or senior persons also carry this keychain. They can go to the market, they can buy groceries or something. They just have to carry this keychain and they can make the payment safely and securely. Thank you. So Nishani, I request to play the video, which is a demo live video, which I have done some payment in a petrol bank outlets where it is a huge rush was there, but safely and securely I have done the payment. So this is a demo. Over to you. Thank you, Nishani. Thank you for the play. So this is how I safely made a payment without any contactless during this pandemic situation. There is no face. I mean, as right is said by CISO, sir. I mean, CISO team. No face, no touch, no during the pandemic situation. It is a contactless payment, safe and secure. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. Manikantan, for the insightful speech. So now we have gained the knowledge about the various products available in the industry. Now we have a feel like whether even if it is so much is available, whether it is secure to use or it is safe to use, what is the protection we will get. So all the fear we have. To address all these questions, we have Mr. Shibu. He is the Chief Information Security Officer of Indian Bank, and he is going to give the answer for all the questions. It's a trending topic always, cyber security. I welcome Mr. Shibu to deliver the speech.
Yeah, good evening, all participants. And first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Bharati sir, General Manager DBD, for giving me an opportunity to speak in this occasion. You can make the PowerPoint presentation. So I have a small presentation. Here I would like to mention only 3-4 aspects. Why cyber frauds happening recently in a very rampant manner? And second, what are the avenues or what are the channels of cyber frauds? And third, what are the recent types of cyber frauds which we came across. And then last, what are the measures as a customer we should take to prevent or to mitigate this kind of cyber frauds. So first, why cyber frauds? It is very easy to execute. Execution is very easy. You can see number of frauds increasing day by day, and it doesn't require any kind of technical knowledge for the attacker or the malicious player to defraud the customer, because it is called social engineering, which is just the one with the one call they can take the entire data of the customers and they can siphon off the money of the customer. So it is very easy to execute, and then it is very difficult to track and trace. That you know very well. Once the attack happens, once the customer lose money, then it will be very difficult to track. Even though it is not impossible, it would be somewhat difficult to track and trace the fraudsters. Then third is, there is no crime scene is not available now because of the digital transaction. And unlike the earlier conventional crimes, there is no crime scene. People can sit at any country, anywhere, and defraud the customers. And third, the rapid growth of technology, which is almost identically proportional to the frauds. Whenever technology growth is there, definitely the chances of frauds also will increase. And then it's a complex environment, because IT is now complex, and the payment systems, payment ecosystem, and the players involved are also complex. And this will also make way for the fraudsters to do or cheat the customers. Next slide. Next slide. So this is important. Lack of awareness among the users. This is very, very important. And that awareness should be there for the users. If you are doing the digital transaction, if you are doing it, if you are using a digital products, you should know how to use it. This is very important, because we are using mobile phone, so we know how to use the mobile phone now. So if you are using a digital product, any digital products, and you should be, the basic awareness should be there for the users. Social engineering, as I mentioned, it is very easy to execute. Next. Because it's just calling the customers. And these are the ways now fraudsters are doing. We know phishing is just sending a link via WhatsApp or SMS or email. Just like that, somebody is calling you and asking for the information. They are sending a link via WhatsApp or SMS or email, which will ask your information, including your credit card details, your OTP, your expiry date of the cards and other things. And the phishing is calling over phone and convincing the customers. And mostly this phishing and phishing simultaneously will happen, or one by one it will happen. Social engineering, again, I told, this is very important. This is very easy to execute by the fraudsters, just to make the call to the customers and get the details. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the channels and avenues of cyber frauds. Internet banking, it is susceptible to phishing. See, this phishing, you see, this is very important in all kind of channels or all kind of avenues. This phishing is a common thing. Just call the customers and get the details. So internet banking also susceptible to phishing and getting the password. Then it is susceptible to SIM swap. Your SIM is swapped. That means your mobile SIM will be in the hands of other fraudsters, so that he can do transaction on behalf of you, and getting the card details and creating credentials of their own. Because once the SIM is with them, they can register for internet banking, they can create new passwords, and they can use your internet banking. And mobile banking, again, installing the screen sharing app, which is very, very important and very rampant nowadays, very common nowadays. And the phishing, it is susceptible to phishing also, getting your details of your mobile banking PIN and other things. And then installing malware in your mobile, either inadvertently or users may not be knowing that one malware is installed in your mobile. That malware can take your screenshots, take the keystrokes and other things. And whenever you are typing your PIN, it can take your PIN also. Then ATM, we know, skimming is most common. This is only one fraud, I feel, that customers are not directly involved, or customers may not be aware, or customers' intervention may not be required. Because customer may not be aware or may not be knowing that an extraneous device is placed in the ATM slot. And phishing is also common. They can get the card details. Again, phishing is there in all the channels you can see. UPI and wallets, screen sharing is very common, because screen sharing, because UPI and wallets are not through OTP. So only PIN is PIN based. PIN is also a second factor authentication, but the fraudsters require only PIN And even though it is having a device binding in place, once screen sharing happens, your mobile, the control of your mobile will be with the fraudsters. So they can see what you are doing in your mobile. It is not the fault of the application, or it is not the fault of the wallets or something, but it is ultimately it is the fault of the customers. Then POS, skimming like ATM and phishing. Social media, you can say social engineering, whether it is in WhatsApp, whether it is in Facebook, or it is in Instagram. Social engineering and spoofing of the customer profile is happening in the social media recently. Next screen. See, some recent frauds we came across. Screen sharing app, one most common in recent times. Most of the customers who are calling the banks, and for them, mostly they are losing the money through this screen sharing app, because fraudster will convince the customer to install the screen sharing app in their mobile. They will call the customers, and whatever the methodology they are adopting, we don't know. Sometimes they will say that you are going to get a refund. We are sending a link. You just click the link and download the application. And they know how to convince the customer according to the situation. If it is a COVID situation, they will use the COVID to lure the customers into their trap. And next is, once the application is downloaded and share the code, then you please understand the control of your mobile number is with the fraudster. Then even though the mobile device physically is with you, the control of the mobile devices, definitely it will be with the fraudsters, and they will come to know what you are typing and what pin you are entering and what kind of password you are typing in your internet banking application. And then the fraudster will say to pay 1 rupee through UPI channel. They will tell the customers either they are going to get a refund, or they want to check whether the system is working or not. Whatever be the way, they will convince the customer to pay 1 rupee in the UPI. Why this is happening? Because they want to see the pin. Let it be any app, whether it is Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, or UPI, whatever it be. It was all through UPI only. So they just want to know the pin of the customers. That's it. And then they will engage the customers in their call. This is very important. Most of the customers came across this particular scenario, and they will keep engaging the customers, because during this engagement, the customer may not be able to see whatever the SMSs are coming in their mobile that their accounts have been debited. So for this purpose only, they are luring the customers, and they will keep engaging the customers in their call. This is very important. And next is the WhatsApp QR code scam. This is normally happens when somebody is advertising, as a customer, somebody is advertising in OLX or Quikr kind of things for selling some items. What the fraudster will say, they will convince that, okay, they are intent to purchase this item. And as part of this one, they want to make some advances. And what they will do, as our NBC official was telling, they will generate a QR code, and that QR code, they will send it over WhatsApp, and they will tell the customers to scan the QR code and enter your PIN. This is very important, as our NBCI officials have pointed out. See, whenever you are entering a PIN, please understand that it is for debiting your account. It is not for receiving the money. You need not, at any situation, you need not enter the PIN for receiving any amount. PIN is entered only for debiting your account and going out, debiting your account and crediting to the fraudster's account. So this is very important. Kindly do not enter your PIN if somebody is convincing you that you want to get the money. For receiving the money, PIN is not required. So WhatsApp QR code scam is also, it is recently, it is very common, especially those people who are advertising in OLX and Quikr. Many people are losing money also. Yeah, next. Bank toll-free number fraud. Because fraudsters are obtaining mobile number which looks similar to the bank's toll-free number. Of course, it will be a mobile number with 10 digits, but it looks like a toll-free number. And whenever we are searching this toll-free number in application like Truecaller or something, then finally the customers will come across this particular number where fraudsters are having. And customers are calling the fraudsters in this number, so that customer will not have any suspicion that this is a fraudster. And then, as usual, the fraudsters will collect the card credentials and OTP to siphon off the money. And always search the bank's toll-free number only in bank's website. Don't use any search engines or don't use any kind of other applications. Bank's website is very well available. Their bank's toll-free number is displayed. It's very important. Next. Then COVID-related fraud. During the last pandemic or ongoing pandemic, so many customers are getting the SMS like a COVID vaccine, booster dose. And ultimately what they are doing, they are sending a link where if the customer clicks, then again it will be downloading the screen sharing application. It is the same kind of modus operandi is same, but they are using the subject in the name of COVID. Because they know how people can be can be made to panic. Because if it is a COVID situation and people are waiting for the booster dose, accordingly they will create a WhatsApp or they will create a SMS and they will send the link accordingly to lure the customers. And please do not click any unknown link which are coming via SMS or email. This is very important. Don't click any link if it is unknown, which is coming through SMS, and do not download any applications by clicking the link. And most of the mobiles, whether it is Android or iOS, which is having a functionality, if you are sharing the screen, it will clearly indicate that you are sharing the screen, either through some kind of indication, or even in Apple also, in iPhone also, it will clearly say that your screen is shared. So do not download any applications by clicking the link. Next screen. And these are some other attacks. Juice jacking means a public Wi-Fi USB port. If you are seeing any kind of Wi-Fi enabled USB port in a public place, kindly avoid using that. You always carry the charger with you, because this can take either your data, or this can install malware in your mobile, which later the customer can spoil your mobile. So this is called juice jacking, because it is taking out the juice from the mobile. And the Google address change, as I mentioned earlier, fraudsters can change the address details of bank branches, gas agencies, or anything in the Google map, which has happened also in our bank. Also, it has happened earlier. And after that, Google has provided one mechanism for the bank to address this issue, because customers then may not be suspicious, because they are seeing in the Google and they are coming across the mobile number, which is a fraudster's mobile number. And as usual, the fraudster will get the credentials of the customers and they will swindle the money. So here again, the measures is the mitigation measure is, please search the bank information only in official bank website. Do not use any search engine or Google map or anything, because it is already available in the bank website. Next. So this we know we are not private in the cyber world, which is not at all private, and social media has converted us from private to public, because everything Google knows. Even though we don't know about us, Google knows. So secure your social media accounts. This is very important. Next. I will just mention some kind of tips how to, because I'm not going in details. Facebook, you can change your password to a strong password. Always, this is important. Whether it is Facebook or any kind of application which requires a password, please have a strong password which is not guessable by others. And you please keep changing the passwords on regular basis. And then enable second factor authentication. This is available in Facebook. You can check it up. If you don't know, you tell your children. They know very well than us. So how to enable the second factor authentication in Facebook. This is important, and set alerts for notifying you for any unusual attempts for logging in. Because Facebook nowadays was taking your picture from your profile, and they will create another account with your picture, and they will request money from your friends. So this is happening nowadays. So this is the best way. Always enable second factor authentication for the Facebook. Next, you can check it up. I think you can check it in the settings also. And Google also, please understand, Google account linked with YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Map, Google Photos. So if your Google account is compromised, these all accounts will be compromised. So you can here also, you can have a second factor authentication. Their option is very well available in the Google account. Once done, your account will be authenticated using an SMS to your registered mobile devices. So that your account, your password check is also available, and have a strong password. And in privacy checkup, you can control the data what you share. Please control your data. Don't share all the data to everyone in Google. And next. And WhatsApp, this is most used, especially in India. Total all over in the world, more than 40% of the users of WhatsApp are from India. Because we are sending so many good morning, good night, good afternoon, everything we are for using Facebook and everything. Anything and everything we are sharing through WhatsApp. So WhatsApp also is having a feature that we can enable the second factor authentication in WhatsApp account. And we can register our email address in WhatsApp account. This will enable us to reset our PIN in case we forget the PIN. And second factor authentication, please enable in WhatsApp account. Because WhatsApp is also most commonly used by the fraudsters to lure the customers into their trap. Next. Passwords, again, I told, whatever be the application you are using, whether it's a bank application or your personal application, your personal mail or your organizational mail, please have a strong password which is not guessable by others. Don't use a weak password, and don't use your name, date of birth or something, pet name or something which is guessable by others. And minimum password length, you set it to 10 characters. And it's more characters you are having, the password will be more stronger. and it should be alphanumeric and it should be capital, small letters, and use a special character, and use different passwords for different accounts. This is important. Don't use, say, one password for your organizational mail and your personal mail, or the same password you don't use for your bank accounts, or don't use that password for your internet banking account. So please use different passwords for different accounts. And if you have a password manager which is very authentic, that is well and good. You can have a kind of one-time. So it can be one password you can use for different multiple accounts. So that also is good if you are having a strong password manager with you. Yeah, next. So these are the symbols, very simple tips for avoiding or mitigating cyber frauds. But please follow this. This is my request to all the customers and users of digital products. No bank, this is the golden rule. No bank or financial institution or employer ask for personal details over email. Even though we are advertising and we are sending SMS, banks are sending a lot of SMS to the customers. That bank will never call you for your credentials. But still, people are getting trapped because they are telling that customer is telling the full mobile number, full account number. Let it be. Let them tell your full account number, because getting an account number or mobile number is very easy nowadays. It is not from the bank. The fraudster can get it from anywhere. It can be from a mall, it can be from a supermarket, or it can be from a Xerox shop. Anywhere it is available. So if the customer is calling you and telling all your full mobile number and the full details, that doesn't mean that he holds the data. Even let them tell your full horoscope, but don't share your personal details. So this is very important. And send SMS. This is Indian Bank is having a feature. Send SMS block to 92895 92895. Probably after each and every digital transaction, customers are getting a SMS like this. If you feel that particular transaction is not done by you, please send an SMS to SMS block to this particular number. All your digital transactions will be blocked. So this is one important feature. Immediately all your digital transactions will be blocked if you feel that it is not done by you. And be careful about the personal details, what you share in your blogs and social networking sites. Don't use your maximum possible. Don't use your original date of birth, or if you are having a mobile number which is linked to the bank account, don't use it. If you are having a secondary account, that you use it in the social media. That is better. And if anyone is engaging you over mobile for asking for, disconnect the call immediately. I told you earlier, because this fraudster is this kind of technique they are adopting now, because they will keep on engaging the customers. Because recently also we came across one incident, one well-educated customer was trapped by the fraudster and she lost a huge amount of money, and she was engaged by the fraudster for more than 1 hour. And so by the time she was not able to see the SMS which has come in her mobile, that her account has been debited. So this is very important. If somebody is engaging you, asking for the details, please cut the call. Immediately another call will come. You please don't take and cut the call. And do not click on links coming via SMS or WhatsApp. This is I already mentioned. And report to the bank immediately if you change your mobile number. This is very important. Recently, we came across one fraud, because the service providers or your mobile service providers, they will allot this particular mobile number to someone after a particular period of time if it is disabled or if it is not being used. By the time, the problem is that bank keeps on sending the SMS into this mobile number, and if a fraudster or a malicious entity is having this particular mobile number, then he can reset your PIN, or he can reset your account number, or he can reset your password, and he can use your account. So whenever you are changing your mobile number, please report to the bank immediately. And another thing, what I used to tell for all the people, whether somebody will ask, okay, whether which is safe, whether it is UPI is safe, or whether it is Paytm is safe, or Google Pay is safe, or PhonePe is safe. My answer is simple. All wallets are safely designed. All wallets are safely designed because by default it is designed with the security. So what you need to do, whatever the account you are linking with this particular wallets, you keep a minimum amount in that particular account. That is very important. If you are having a main account, or if your primary account is something, say for your salary account, you don't link that particular salary account with the wallet. You have to have a secondary account and keep minimum amount, which is according to your risk appetite. You keep a minimum amount, and that account only you link to the wallet. So that if it is compromised, if the wallet is compromised, the amount which you are losing will be minimum. And then next is eSIM fraud. Because even though people are not having a device which is supporting eSIM, these fraudsters are calling them for eSIM, and they are getting because see, there are a lot of, I also converted this eSIM, but a lot of OTPs are required. OTPs are required to be shared to the fraudster if fraudster wants to have control of your mobile. So eSIM, if your handset is not enabled for eSIM, kindly don't go for that. Even if you are going for eSIM, don't share the OTP sent by your mobile service provider. So these are some of the tips which requires to mitigate or avoid this kind of frauds. And if customers, this is a silver bullet. Always, this is a silver bullet. Customer should be aware, base minimum, that this what I'm doing, what I'm using. Yes, this is the way fraud can happen. This is what I should take care. So this is the minimum thing, and it doesn't require higher education or something. This is the minimum thing which a customer require. Then most of the cyber frauds can be mitigated. So this is from me. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Shibu sir. Definitely it will be helpful for the customer because you have given a detailed about the tips and what is the do's and don'ts to be followed by the customer. Now, there are some customers.
Shanti, before
Yes.
that, one
Yeah.
second. Actually, every time when Shibu explains us about the cyber security controls, we used to wonder, like he's a treasure trove of knowledge, particularly with regard to cyber security matters. And today, very, very important things he said. One thing is that helpline, you want to know, don't go to search engine, go to bank's website. It's a very, very basic things, but everyone doesn't do that. All other things, many of us are aware, but particularly customer point of view, this is a very important takeaway. When you want to call the bank for reporting a problem, and you want to know the bank's call center name or contact numbers, better go to the bank's website, not to the regular search engines. This is a very important takeaway. Thanks, Shibu. It's a very, very useful information you have presented. Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, there are few customers waiting to join with us. They have some interesting question, and this is a common question which is faced by all of us. And there are experts also are eagerly waiting to answer the question. So we can start one by one. Those who want to ask the question, you are free to ask in our social media channels in YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever we are. We will definitely reply to your queries or any clarification. Yeah, we can start. Manoj Verma sir.
Namaskar, sir. I am Manoj Verma, customer of Harma branch. Bank says not to share OTP, password, or any credentials with anyone. I am receiving calls where the person doesn't ask for OTP or password or any other credential, but they are asking to install an application. Whether I should install, is it secure?
This in my presentation, I already mentioned about the screen sharing fraud. This is what is happening most commonly nowadays, because customer earlier the fraudsters were using the trick. You are tricking the customers by calling them and asking for the details. But now there are a lot of screen sharing applications are there, like AnyDesk, QuickFix. So many applications are there available in the either the Play Store or App Store. So what they will do, they will convince the customer that this is some application you download for fixing some issue or something. They will convince the customer, and customer, once it is downloaded, and once one 12-digit or 16-digit PIN will be generated, code will be generated, and once it is shared to the fraudster, then the customer's mobile number, it is just like that, customer's mobile number is with the fraudster. Even though customer is having the physical mobile with him, the fraudster can control his mobile, and the fraudster can see what he is entering into the mobile. So the customer need not share the PIN, because they will say you just pay 1 rupee through UPI or through your Google Pay or Phone Pay. Once the customer is opening the Google Pay and typing the PIN, the fraudster can see, because they are having that mobile screen with them. In their mobile, they can see the customer's screen. So whenever the customer is keying in the PIN number, they will be able to see, and then they will siphon off the account using that particular PIN. So customer is not sharing any PIN. Yes, it is absolutely correct. But they are downloading this application unknowingly or knowingly they are downloading this application, which will enable the fraudster to siphon off the money. This is what is happening in most of the cases when customers are telling, I have not shared any PIN, but my account has been debited and money has been swindled. This is the case. The screen sharing application customers are downloading. So kindly avoid unnecessary application to be downloaded in your mobile. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, some customers have come to our zonal office, Chennai South, and they want to ask some question. Yes, sir. Ilaya Nambi, sir, you can ask your question to our expert.
Very good evening, sir, to all of you. I am Elaine MB, sir. I am one of the customer in Ethia Egmore, sir. I have one doubt. Whether saving card detail in different apps is secure? We are sharing the information in different apps. Is secure?
Yeah, it is secured actually. So the thing is now RBI has introduced a tokenization logic. So you don't have to store the card number. So the card number will be tokenized. So merchants or each and every time whenever you're visiting to any app or website for any purchase or something. So if the tokenization in this call logic, tokenization for a card will be used. So bank or the particular app or any database or something, the card number will not get stored. It is safe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Manikam, sir, you can ask your question.
A little more louder.
Manikam, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm Giri Prasad from Vellore, main branch, Indian Bank, main branch. Good afternoon, ma'am. to all. My question is, how safe can we use digital transactions across the country? Hello.
Yes, sir. Your voice was not audible. Yeah, please repeat the question.
How safe can we use digital transactions across the country?
Of course, sir. A digital transaction in the sense like immediately it comes to all the bankers or customers. UPI is the first option coming to mind. And as I mentioned, you some RuPay on the go contactless transaction. It is as safe as bank, as safe as your whatever the material that you're carrying, whether it's a card or whether it's a UPI application. So we have, as rightly mentioned by our CISO team, it is rightly mentioned that we have a proper two-factor authentication in place. So wherever you're going, so as rightly mentioned by NPCI team, you don't have to click on any link to get money, and the banks are immediately sending for any alerts. Example, 1 rupee is debited or 100 rupees debited. Customer is getting immediate debit message on their mobile phone immediately with immediate effect. So it is highly, whether it's UPI, IMPS or a card transaction. Only thing is, as a customer, you have to ensure that you don't share any details, and it is highly secure. There is no until or unless you are the owner and you are the participant and you are the customer there. It is highly secure only. With help of all the platforms and bank support, we are doing our best for the security of the customer.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Next, some of our staff members also interested to raise a question. So, Ms. Uttara?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Transactions through contactless card through tap and pay were earlier limited to rupees 2,000. Now recently it is increased to rupees 5,000. There are many videos in social media where a person just passes with the device and the amount gets debited. So how can we rely on this? How secure is these things?
So, ma'am, it's a right question, of course. So, in social media, this even I have seen this video also. So, if a person is carrying a, let's say, wallet is having some FOFI wallet contactless cards. Okay, so definitely it will not get accepted immediately, because if you're placing the machine in their pocket or with knowledge or without knowledge, if they are standing in the queue. See, there should be some minimum distance, 2 to 3 mm distance should be there if you're making the payment in the chip. One thing, one important thing is POS has a terminal ID, POS has a merchant ID. If XYZ merchant is applied for a POS machine, it will be registered as in the merchant name with a proper KYC, and then only the machine will be released to them. And it is having a terminal ID also. So for bank for cyber security, it is very easy to find out the transaction immediately, and moreover, bank is immediately sending a message saying that your contactless card has been made payment for 100 rupees or 200 rupees or whatever. So it is highly secure. Only thing is like while you're making the payment, whether it's a card contactless, why RBI has increased the transaction from 2000 to 5000 is during the pandemic situation, they don't want any physical face-to-face transaction should not happen. So that's where they have introduced, and the contactless adoption was very high, 10x or 20x. Now, by seeing the trend, how it has been increased. So people themselves now they're saying in the restaurant, okay, do the contactless payment. Do in merchant language it is can I do Wi-Fi payment? Can I do tap and go? So it is adapted by customers as well as merchant also for the safety of customer as well as during the pandemic situation. We are regularly monitoring this transaction also. Bank also monitoring this transaction. So it is safe as you're dipping the card in the machine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sutra and Manikandan sir. Chandru sir wants to have a question here. Chandru sir?
Yes, madam. I am Chandru from customer of China Butter branch. I have question QR code. QR code transaction are very easy and convenient to use, but how effective is security of QR code?
The QR code. Yes. So, is anybody want to answer, please?
Yeah, Manikandan, you can proceed.
Yes. Sir, as rightly mentioned, so QR codes as well as whether it's a card payment or QR code payment, of course, if a QR code is allocated to a merchant, so it will have a proper merchant ID, and that QR is a unique QR for a merchant actually. So for example, if you're going to a shop and you want to pay some 10, 15 rupees or 100 rupees to the payment, so they will say that, okay, I want to scan that. If you scan that, so first thing, if he is a verified merchant, it will come as a verified merchant tick. That is one important check, and automatically it will show the enterprise's name also, merchant name also. If you are in XYZ mobile store, automatically it will show XYZ mobile store. If, for example, if it is a very small provision shop, there also, even in tea shops and even in small roadside shop, pani puri shops also, we can see the QR. So if you don't have the change, you are making the payment. So that time, maybe individual name will come. So there, you have to, as a customer, you have to verify it is coming in Manikandan A. Should I make the payment? If he says yes, you can make the payment. And as rightly mentioned by all the officials, the NPC official as well as the CISO officials, simple. You don't have to accept the QR or accept the link for taking any money or receiving the money. Only for making the payment or outward from your account on UPI or then only you have to enter the PIN or OTP. So please remember that it is as safe as, again, whether it's a card, IMPS or UPI. QR is also one of the safest medium, and QR, now we have two type of QRs. One is dynamic QR and another one is static QR. Dynamic QR, static QR is nothing but you are going to a shop, XYZ mobiles, there the sticker will be placed there. Once you make the payment, automatically it will show the merchant name, you can make the payment. The amount is dynamic, amount can be customized, and you can put a remarks also there. Like they will say that, okay, sir, your payment is 100 rupees. You will enter 100 and you will say it's a mobile charger pin or something. Dynamic QR is nothing but you're going to a shop. It's a big bazaar, let's say. There, the POS machine will be there. So once you enter all the details, automatically merchant will say, how are you making the payment? I'm making the payment through QR. So automatically they will enter all the details and they will show you the POS machine, or they will turn the screen to you. So there you have to scan. In that particular screen, you will not be able to edit the amount. You will not be able to edit any remarks. Simply you have to make the payment after entering the PIN. It is dynamic QR, because why it is called as a dynamic QR is after, if you are standing there, next customer will be coming. The first customer amount might be 250 rupees. The second customer amount might be 500 rupees. So the QR might be aligned in such a way that it is dynamic and it is safe and secure. I hope I answered your query.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Now,
sir.
yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have our staff, Mr. Arun Yogesh. He also like to answer raise a question here.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Myself, Arun Yogesh. Sir, here I have one question. How RuPay on the go contactless will work and how safe is it?
Great. So as I rightly mentioned, so the traditional method is earlier, the day one when the card got introduced, it was a max type card. You will have the max type card in the beginning. So after that, the skimming and other things sir were mentioning to add the security, we have introduced this EMV chip based. Now after that also to make the customer more convenient, so now we have added dual interface facility also. Example, so in the RuPay on the go is nothing but whatever the keychain that you're carrying, it is embedded with the chip which is there in your debit card. It acts like as your add-on card. So here the chip is embedded, the complete control is with you. App can be through app or through internet banking. You can control the chip. About even the limit can be up to 5,000 rupees as per RBI guidelines. Only this RuPay on the go has been designed. So whenever you're going out, so when you forget the wallet, of course you don't have to go back to your home, or you don't have to rush for cash, or you don't have to search for example, you don't have the wallet, you just have the keychain which is a payment enabled. So you can ask for the POS machine, contactless POS machine, and you can pay the amount up to 5,000 rupees. It will not ask for the password. So it is controlled with you. So it is highly safe as your debit card, as safe as your bank. That's what I can say. And it is with you. You are carrying physically. You are carrying keychain, or if you are carrying your car keychain, definitely you will not lose the keychain. And if you are carrying your watch, definitely you will not lose your watch. Until or unless it's a very worst case scenario. So there, immediately, even if you forget or lose your keychain, also you can go to an app. You can off. That's it. So then it will become a normal keychain. Nobody will know that.
Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's interesting. So a good beginning always comes to a good ending also. So the session is very interesting and informative. So now we have come to the ending session. So here I like to invite Sir, Mr. Venkateshan sir, who is leading the Financial Inclusion Division of Indian Bank, for giving the vote of thanks.
Good evening to all participants. It is indeed happy to be part of this webinar on Go Digital and Go Secure, coinciding with the Financial Literacy Week. At the outset, I would like to thank everyone who have participated in the meeting. The NPCA team had given a lot of insights to us on UPI, its salient features of the UPI, how it can be a growth engine, etc., and lot of information on RuPay card also. And I strongly believe that it would have given a lot of thoughts and insights and information to all the participants today. And also, in this year's financial literacy program is based on certain sub-themes also as to how the convenience of digital transactions, how it is convenient, security of financial transactions, and what is the protection available to the customers. And adequate information have been shared in this meeting. And I believe a lot of takeaways will be there from our Chief Information Security Officer's presentation on the protection to the customers on these financial transactions. Our bank has done a lot of job, especially our digital banking department, financial inclusion department, marketing department, have taken a lot of efforts and steps to impart this financial knowledge by various methods, organizing meetings, playing displays, putting the information in our ATM, VNA, etc. And I believe all these efforts will truly result in achieving our objective of reaching the financial literacy, the main theme of Go Digital and Go Secure to the public at large. I thank one and all for participating in this function. Good day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So today the moral of the webinar is, let's go digital in a secure way. Our session is available. The webinar is always available in our YouTube channel. Those who want to see again, definitely it is available. Thank you all for the active participation. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.